திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடம்பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமாமுகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பூழியர்கோன் பொழித்த புகழியர்கோன் கழல் போற்றி ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்தவிரான் அடி போற்றி வாழிய திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் அட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துறை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் மண்ணுரானாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலை மன்னா போற்றி, கண்ணார் முதற்கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக வழங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே அன்பிற்குரிய சரவணன் தம்பதியர் கத்தாரிலிருந்து ஏற்பாடு செய்திருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த நிகழ்வு ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக த ஹோலி டெய்டீஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பிலே சைவ வழிபாட்டு மூர்த்தங்களை பற்றி ஆங்கிலத்திலே தொடர்ந்து உரைகள் நிகழும் வண்ணமாக இன்றைய தினம் மேலும் நாம் தட்சிணாமூர்த்தி என்கிற திருவுருவத்தை பற்றி சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவுருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. In the last episode we discussed about the various stages in offering prayer to the Almighty existing in the Saivam. Saivats offer their prayers before the approved deities. Why I mean approved means the deities, the form of deities, the details of the deities are prescribed well in our agamams. Away from agamam, we are not supposed to offer our prayer to the to any form. The form of the deity should have been mentioned, described, detailed in Agamam. Only those deities are to be worshipped, are to be. See, even if we build a construction, we should adopt all the rules. Is it not? Where the entrance should be, where the windows should be installed, how it should be looking like. The perfection exists in adopting the proper dimensions and proper details. Is it not? The load balancing is very important in the construction of a building. Let it be an office building or a house, let it be anything. But the load distribution, it is the main criteria. Other features come only after that. The building should be stable, strong, and it should be following the norms of the construction. That's very important. So the norms are very important. Likewise, in forming a deity for prayer, worship, etc., the norms are prescribed in Agama. Only those deities will be yielding the results for our prayers. That is the main hope of Saivites. Just like that, that is why we are not supposed to buy pictures wherever we want. Wherever we go, pictures may be available for our gods. There may be so many pictures printed by so many people. You should be very careful in choosing the picture, whether it conforms to the norms of the Agamam. We should not make any mistake in selecting the picture or the deity for our prayer. In construction of the temple, people are very careful. Stabadi and other people concerned are very, they will take all measures to carefully choose the dimensions. For example, the height, the breadth, the pedestal, all these have norms. If the statue, if it is going to be a metal statue, or it is going to be in stone, what is the height, what is the breadth, what should be the height of the pedestal, what should be the dimensions of the pedestal. All these details are available, and we should adopt only those norms. So, people should be very careful in choosing the deity or the picture for our prayer in our puja. Not only that, we must be looking into the fact that where it should be installed, facing which direction. This is very important. You cannot install the deity wherever you want. Where it should be installed, where it should look, in which direction, in which direction it should look, what should be the height. All those details are to be taken care of. So, the construction of a temple is a science which follows rules. It is called a science. So, the construction of a temple is also a science. The architecture, suppose if we want in a building, if we want to give some relaxation, a relief, it is called a relief. You can do something, but in temples, the individual taste will not be taken into account. The people who are constructing or the people who are in the background, their interest or taste should not be taken into account. You understand? If you are going to build a Siva temple, if you are going to build a Muhurtham temple, then there are norms. That's all. Your personal interest and personal taste should not play a role in the construction. That is very important. Whenever we want to do something or some change, we must ask whether Agamam will accept it. In which Agamam the pujas are going to be performed. According to that Agamam, the construction should be done. So details, everywhere details. Many people may not be aware that these constructions of temple are following rules. They have been followed, and every day rules are followed in performing the prayers, pujas, everything. So we follow a science, and if you go to a Siva temple, if you just look around, if the construction was done according to Agamam, then you just go around and you will find it would have been built in conforming to the basic rules. You compare all the Siva temples, rules are same. The proportions may be different according to the area available for the temple. Otherwise, except a few temples, all other temples will look alike. So, in the construction of a temple or in forming the deity, whether it is in metal or stone, irrelevant to the material in which the deity is built, the norms are very important. Norms are very important. Today we are interested in the deity, very popular and most lovable and very important deity in Saivam. That form is known as Dakshinamurthy in Sanskrit and Tenmuha Kadavul in Tamil. The name itself, the name of the deity itself suggests that the deity has to do something with the direction of south. Dakshin means south. Tenmuha Kadavul, Tekku. So it has to do something with the direction south. Southern direction is associated with this deity. It is nothing but that the deity, if it is installed, it should look in the direction of south. So it will be very easy for you whenever you are visiting a Siva temple. If you want to know the direction inside the temple, you just go to Dakshinamurthy, just inspect in which direction Dakshinamurthy is facing, then that direction is south and Dakshinamurthy is in the northern direction. So he is installed in northern direction, northern part, so that if he looks towards the south, then we may find out the direction south, opposite to it is north, and we can find east and west very easily. So the name of the deity itself, the Muhurtham itself, Tenmuha Kadavul, Tenmuhamaha Partha Kadavul, Dakshinam Nokiya Kadavul. Likewise, it has to be expanded. So the deity Dakshinamurthy looks in the southern direction. What is so special about southern direction? South is the direction of an important person, very, very important man, very, very important. Shall we call man or some? I do not know. It's a soul, of course. a Deva. Let us call it a Deva. The southern direction, the southern part is owned by a great man, a great Deva. We can call it him as Yaman. People may not be afraid of Sivan, but they will be afraid of Yaman. People may not be knowing about Sivan, but they will be knowing definitely about Yaman. சிவனை தெரியாதவருக்கு கூட யமனை தெரியும். You just go anywhere, even a layman, common man, if you just ask him, do you know Yaman? First of all, he will get wild. Why you are asking Yaman to him? Suppose if you convince him, he will answer. Yaman is the god of death, he will say. So we are describing him as a Deva and other things, but to him, he is the god of death. And he also called as Yamarajan, the King Yama, the King Yama, the most frightening king, frightening king. Yaman is also a soul, he is being posted there. Nobody is permanent there. Yaman is always expecting some promotion from that post. He is always looking for the grace of Lord Shiva, requesting him, asking him to give promotion to the Indra post. Indra is always longing for promotion to Brahma post. Brahma every minute is praying Lord Shiva to offer him Tirumal post. Tirumal is always performing Siva Puja for promotion to Muhurtham. Because depromotion is not carried over after Tirumal. From Muhurtham, no depromotion, only promotion. From Tirumal to down, there will be promotions and depromotions will be given. So if you just cross Tirumal post and go to Muhurtham, then no depromotion, you can just climb up. Otherwise, even you will be kept up there, even if there is no promotion. But whereas for Tirumal may come down to Brahman. Brahman may come down to depromoted to Indra if he didn't perform well. If he is not performing well, he is liable to be depromoted. That liability is there. Understand? Okay. So Yama king is the most powerful fellow whose duty is to take away the soul from the Thula body. He has to separate it. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, he won't be carrying. We may be looking at a TV program, we may be viewing a film, we may be eating, we may be sleeping, we may be talking. Anything we may be doing, it is immaterial. If he comes for separation, he will carry over. He will just carry out the instruction. He will be separating the soul, not the pure soul. Not the pure soul. Soul means, I mean the Purudan. He will be separating it. The soul will be always associated with the Sukshama body. It will be there permanently. Only if it is not having any more births, then it will be removed from that Sukshama body, Karana body. That is the the most Sukshama body. Likewise, they are called, we have already discussed about those physical structures. Now, from Thula body, from Thula body. That is the body that we are able to see. That is called Thulam. Thulam means what we are witnessing, what we are seeing, what we are physically viewing. It is called Thulam. If we are able to sense through our senses, then it is called Thulam. Those things which we are not able to sense through our senses, they are called Sukshama. Okay. Now, yeah, we are discussing about the direction of Yaman. Yaman possesses the direction, south direction. He is in charge of south direction. But he must remember that he comes under the rule of Lord Shiva. So, the most powerful job he is having, so he should not execute it with his will, vision will. Is it not? Only he has to follow the rules correctly, exactly. He cannot go and just because somebody is there and that fellow is not a good fellow, bad fellow, or anything. He cannot go and take away the soul from the body. No personal likes and dislikes. He cannot act according to his personal wishes. So, he is operating, he is doing his job in accordance to the rules laid for him, that is being monitored by Lord Shiva. So, those people who are looking in the direction where Dakshinamurthy is installed or he is seated and looking towards, if we are looking at him, then Yaman will not be looking at us. So, instead of looking in the direction of south, look in the direction of north, look into him, look into the Lord Dakshinamurthy, then you will not have the fear of Yama. So, Dakshinamurthy himself drives away the fear for Yaman or the fear of Yamarajan. So, in the crude manner we can understand that by the direction in which he is looking, he is taking away the fear for Yaman. So, always pray Dakshinamurthy in the north direction, that is, he is looking towards south. He is looking towards south. So, he is in the north. So, you just look towards north. He is in Kailayam, it is in the north. So, in the north, he is supposed to sit under the banyan tree. Kallal is a special species of banyan tree. Alamaram, banyan tree, Kallal. That banyan tree will grow on stones. That is why it is called a Kallal. Kailayam is a mountain. In the mountain, this banyan tree will grow from the rocks in the stone. That is why it is called Kal, means stone, Kallal. I was visiting Ceylon, and I was taken with love by the people there, and they took me to the temple Kokarnam. What is that temple? Kokarnam. Teacharam is in the western side, in the eastern side, Tirukonamalai. Tirukokarnam is in India. Kokarnam. Karna means ear. Karna means ear. Kokarnam. Pasu Kadu. But people will say that Karnam is in the construction of a temple. It will be there. People used to give that meaning also. I am just mentioning Tirukonamalai. Tirukonamalai. And the people, Saiva Anbargal, people, Saivats in Ceylon, they took me. I was there for rendering lectures. They took me to this Tirukonamalai. I saw there this Kallal. That is why I am just mentioning. They showed me. It was guarded. I was there. It was guarded by large fence. So they allowed me to peep out and see. I was just peeping out and saw the Kallal. I was wondering where it started growing. Such a merger from the rock to the tree, banyan tree. So only there I saw this Kallal. It was a beautiful merger. In Trichy also, Tirusarapuram, some banyan trees are there. Kallal Maram. The speciality about the Kallal, that is the special type of the stone growing banyan tree. The speciality is the oxygen under this tree is nascent. That is the most purest form, nascent oxygen. In molecular form, the formula of oxygen is O2. Two oxygen atoms, they will not be existing, but here nascent oxygen, the O, I am not a very good chemist. I was able to explain to a little extent. Some or other, the oxygen under the tree is it's a very pure form, and for yoga or for dhyanam, the climate is very, very favorable. That's what we told. So our Dakshinamurthy, if you just see him, he would be sitting under the banyan tree, that is Kallal Maram. Alamaram, in English it is called a banyan tree. Now he is sitting there. He is very clever, very intelligent. That is why he is having only 4 students. See, the teacher, if he has a less number of students, then he is really lucky, we must say. Nowadays, if you go to a class, you can find the teacher dealing with 60, 70 students in the classroom. 60 students, 50 students in the classroom. Simply pathetic. The pity of the teacher is to manage all the 60 boys. I have also handled the class for 60 students in the class. When I was a professor in engineering college, there were about 60 students in the classroom. The most difficult part is it's a co-education, males and females, about 60 in total. Of course, it's very difficult to manage all the 60 students for 1 hour. You have to keep them tight for the 60 minutes, isn't it? Their attention should not be drawn elsewhere, and you should keep tight and in close contact in the classroom. Okay. Now, the class is going on. We can just see these, the students are, they are 4 in number. Their names are Sanagar, Sanandanar, Sanadanar, Sanar Kumar. The thing is, all the 4 are brothers. They are sons of Lord Brahma. The 4 students. The students are learned students. Learned students. They have gone through all the 4 Vedams, Agamams, all the things they have gone through. They were experts in the theory, and they were also what do we say, that they were actually going around contacting every possible teacher, getting from them information, contacting everywhere they go. Whenever they go and contact, anywhere they go contact, they will be very seeking, they will be very interested in seeking the information from the teachers. So finally, even though they were able to get theoretical information, they were not convinced. They felt that their wisdom was incomplete. They were not knowing something which is to be known. They have gone through all the books available, or either in written version or in non-written version. All those books, some books will be available in written version, some Vedams will not be available in the written version. Is it not? Ezhudha Kilavi. In Tamil it will be known as Ezhudha Kilavi. The chanting of Vedams will be inherited from one to the other. As a matter of fact, so they have gone through all the books, whether it is written or unwritten, all books they have gone through, but they were not convinced. They didn't feel that they were furnished or they were filled with the required information. Something they felt that we have lost some information should be available. We are yet to get that information. That was the feeling they had. There is something which we are not being told, or which we are yet to know, or which people do not know to impart us. That was the feeling the 4 students, or the 4 of them. Janakadi Munivaral, the saints, their maturity cannot be questioned. Such learned and wise people, not only that, all the good virtues are with them. Some or other they were lacking some information. They thought we should get that information from the Guru. So they were in search of it, and they were not able to get it from the Gurus they were contacted. Even their father, Brahma, he was not able to part with that information. He told, whatever I know, I had just transferred. So the knowledge transfer was complete, 100% from Brahma to his sons. But even then, they felt that something is yet to be known, or to be culled out from these teachings. So they were looking for, they were longing for, and they finally decided the only Almighty, the Lord Siva, he was the only Lord, he was the only Guru to impart or to transfer or to teach us this information, they felt. So they went to Kailayam, they requested Nandi to let them in, and at that time Lord Shiva was single. So very, very, very favorable situation, because goddess Umai has gone down to Parvata Raja Kumaran or Imaya Varamban, and she was growing as his daughter. She was there, she went there as a baby. Imaya Varamban found her in the forest when he was doing tavam. So he just took her, and he was growing there, and Lord Shiva was in Kailayam, single. So the four saints thought that it is the favorable situation that we must approach Lord Shiva and request him to teach them the missing link. Nandi just permitted them to get in. They all went to Lord Shiva and bowed before him, surrendered before his lotus feet, and summoned their request. They told him that, "Oh my Lord, we studied everything available. We were taught Vedams, everything connected with it by our father. Brahma taught us a lot of things. We went through the universe and contacted every possible guru and collected information. We obtained and attained abundant measure of knowledge, but still we feel that we are lacking something. We are thinking that that an important information or important teaching that we are missing, we have not been taught. Our mental maturity feels that it is void, or it is not filled somewhere. So we want that information. Why we don't feel we are convinced, why we are not feeling that we are knowing the thing, the real thing? Kindly teach us, kindly bless us with the missing information, so that we will feel content. So what do we get out of that learning? Suppose we will learn something, what do we get out of it? Knowledge? No. Kindly understand, by learning, the real yield or the real profit by reading, learning things is peace of mind. If you read a book, if you go through it, if you just reap some peace of mind, then that book is called a good book. If your knowledge is stimulated and it is not being kept in peace, if the book is confusing and if it is not informative, already known knowledge is somewhat confused by this book, means then that book is not useful at all. You please understand, the real use of the book is it should donate, or it should give you the peace of mind. Oh, I know this part now. That much of peace should set it. The four saints complained that even though we were learning so much of things, our mind is not set at rest. Our minds are not set at rest. We are longing for something. We do not know what we are longing for. If we know that what we are longing for, we will just search where it is available. But we do not know what we are longing for. But we know that we are longing for something, and nobody is knowing that gap. Kindly fill that gap, or kindly provide that information. Kindly offer us the peace of mind, the real peace in the mind, or the wisdom of the soul. That was their request. So Lord Shiva asked them to come and sit before them. He chose a seat under the banyan tree, Kallal. He went over there, sat over there with the posture now we are seeing. His right leg, he was in sitting posture, he was in the sitting posture. His right leg was slightly bending and touching the ground, whereas the left leg is lifted and put on the right thigh. So this is the posture. People will say that yoga. They will say it is a yoga posture. And if you just look at his hands, one hand is holding the beads of Rudraksha. The garland of Rudraksha is being held by one right hand. Corresponding to that right hand, left hand is holding the fire. Is holding the fire. Then come to the next pair. He is having 4 arms. We saw the 2 arms. One of them is holding the Rudraksha garland. Another one is holding fire. And the next set, you see, in his left hand, the next set, the second set of hands, in his left hand he is holding some palm leaves. Palm leaves he is holding. He is holding the palm leaves, indicating let the books be there. Don't tamper with it, don't disturb it. Let it be there. He is holding it. You understand? No bookish knowledge will give final result. And Yeti Churakai Kariki Udavadi. That was the proverb. That is a proverb our people used to say. The usual proverb. See, he just showing the palm leaves, representing all the bookish knowledge, including passing on what we hear, what we write, what we go through, what we see, everything is included. It is there. Don't think that Lord Shiva is referring some book and taking class. Not like that. He never refers. Anyway, why we are showing the palm leaves means pasayanam. It should be driven away. No use in having some pasayanam before Lord Shiva. It is right and that is the most important form. Most important form. It is showing a mudra called Sin Mudra. Uttare means sign. These signs will be displayed by the fingers, usually. So, our customary action, that is, whenever we want to tell something, if we don't want to use words, we will show sign, isn't it, with the hands. Suppose we want to drink some water, you want water, you cannot ask for water, isn't it? So, suppose if you are not able to ask for water, you have to show that you need water. Yes, yes, what we are showing is correct. That's all. It is a sign. It is called the mudra. Is it not? எங்கிருந்து போறீங்க அங்கிறதுக்கு? Suppose if we are going to ask, where are you going? Likewise. So all these signs we are already making without using words. If we see, if we decide that words will not be useful, sometimes words will not be useful and signs will be more powerful. Before guest, husband and wife, they cannot exchange informations. Is it not? They cannot use words before a guest. The husband may be asking for a coffee to be served for the guest. The wife cannot say that she is not having in stock coffee powder or sugar or milk or gas, some problem. So she will just show by hand. பேசாம இரு, அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். Husband will understand. There are occasions the husband and wife have some special exchange of signs also, in some houses. But what we are discussing here is sin mudra. Those mudras are not sin mudra. Those are san mudra, or otherwise they are also sin mudra, SIN. This is SIGN, sign. Sin means in Sanskrit, sin means sit. Sit means jnanam, wisdom. This sign actually this sign shows the jnana mudra. Jnana mudra. Actually, the sin mudra or wisdom sign shown by the right hand, that was the posture. That was the posture he gave before the four signs. Okay, all the four, they were asked to come and sit. They politely came and seated before him. Lord Shiva came, took a seat under the banyan tree, called Nandi, ordered him not to let anybody inside Kailaya. He gave the instruction. Nandi went to his post for guarding the Kailaya. He came over there, and our Lord Shiva sat under the stone banyan tree and started preaching them. I wanted you to, in the first hand itself, I wanted you to ask a question. You are seeing the picture of Lord Dakshinamurthy you are seeing. This posture is called Dakshinamurthy. This posture is depicted in pictures, in stones, they are carved in stone and they are installed in temples. This posture was a symbol of jnanam. Moreover, you must understand that this jnanam is, which jnanam means, it is not bookish jnanam, this is guru jnanam. So, you must understand that it is the symbol of guru jnanam. The total form of this Lord or the deity, the deity gives the message guru jnanam. That is the thing you must understand. You understand? Okay. See, one more thing I want to give you here is, you just see the right leg. It is folded and touching the ground, I was telling you. But exactly if we see that it is not touching the ground, it is being laid on a dwarf. You can see this dwarf daman is a daman, is a dwarf daman. If you just see him, he was pressed against his leg. Suppose if he just loosely or if he just lift his leg, that fellow will run away. He is ready to get released, he is ready to run away, escape, but he is being held by the leg of Lord Shiva. Even though it has been shown, you understand, it has been shown as a dwarf daman, Asura Kullan. His name is Moyalahan. Even though he is being held by the right leg of Lord Shiva, what is the symbolic representation of this? You must understand. We showed that that Pasajnanam, the palm leaves represent Pasajnanam. Likewise, this demon dwarf is nothing but our mind. It should be kept still, it should be kept under control. It should be kept under control, and the concentration is very important to get a Guru Jnanam. So, that is the representation or a symbolic representation. It is nothing but our mind with the crooked postures. See his legs, see his eyes, see his hands, everything will be looking in different directions and he is trying to get away. Is it not? Suppose if you listen to good things, if you go to temple, do you think that your mind is under your control? No. Whenever we are doing darshan, our thoughts will be running away from us. It will be going elsewhere, it will be going to our house or elsewhere, it will be wandering like anything. But we are physically, we may be before Lord, or we may be in temple, or we may be in a classroom listening to a teacher as if we are listening to a teacher. But what will happen to our thoughts? It may be wandering around or wandering away from our physical location. Is it not? So, whenever you go to Guru, whenever you are listening to your Guru, whenever you are listening to a jnana message, a message of wisdom, whenever you must be ensuring that your mind is under your control. Your mind is being tightly held. It is not allowed to wander elsewhere. It is being held within yourself. That is the symbolic representation of this right leg. The right leg bent towards the daman, the other left leg is completely folded and lifted and being held on the right thigh. is it not? See, the beauty is we are able to visualize both the legs and both feet. Now look at these four saints. These four saints are not close together. They are away from one another, maintaining a distance in between them, not crowded, and their minds set right at the lotus feet. I want to ask a question. Just look at the eyes of Lord Dakshinamurthy. Do you find them closed or they are open? You may just look into him, look at the face of Lord Siva, see his face with 100% mercy, see the peace in his face, and just tell me whether his eyes are closed or open. It may be looking, if you just look at the face of Lord Dakshinamurthy, you may derive the conclusion that they are being closed, they are kept closed. But it is not true. It is open. It is open means with respect to the four saints. They are looking at the four saints, looking at nothing elsewhere. Not looking elsewhere, looking only at the four saints. Just his sight is bowed down and he is just looking at the four saints only. And the four saints are also looking at the eyes, and it is an eye lock. The locking between the eyes and the transfer of information started. Once he sat and asked them to look at me, and they were looking at him, and they were looking at him in the eyes. Once it was done, he was asking them by thoughts, not through thoughts, not by verbal information. He didn't speak anything. கல்லாலின் புடை அமர்ந்து நான்மறை ஆரங்கம் முதல் கற்ற கேள்வி வல்லார்கள் நால்வருக்கும் வாக்கிறந்த பூரணமாய் வாக்கிறந்த பரஞ்சோதி Saint Paranjodi composed this version for Thiruvilayadal Puranam. Very nice and beautiful verse. Dakshinamurthy, about Dakshinamurthy. Kallalin pudai amarந்து. Pudai means under the banyan tree. Kallal, under the banyan tree. Kallalin pudai amarந்து. நான் மறை ஆரங்கம் கற்ற கேள்வி வல்லார்கள் நால்வருக்கும். All the four are equipped with the bookish knowledge 100%. வல்லார்கள் நால்வருக்கும், they were experts in Puranams, in Vedas, everything, they were experts. வல்லார்கள் நால்வருக்கும் வாக்கு இறந்த பூரணமாய். Without words he transferred information, or he taught them without words, through sight. He was looking at them and they were looking at him. Their sight, their sights with the Lord's sight locked, and now whatever he wants to transfer is being transferred to them. His thoughts are being transferred to them. That was the technique the Guru adopted. In Saivam, Lord Dakshinamurthy is the first Guru. That is why our reverend, all madams or mutts, all mutts are climbing to Tirukailaya Parambarai. All mutts are climbing to be Tirukailaya Parambare. Because our first guru is Lord Dakshinamurthy. He was our first guru. Only from him the hereditary guru Shishya, the master student or mentor student, that root is started. You understand? That hereditary. First guru is Dakshinamurthy. Then the second one is Nandi Amberuman. And the third one is Sanar Kumar. And the fourth one is Meghanda Darsani, அல்லது Satyajnana Darsani. Satyajnanam Meghanda Darsani. And Paranjyoti, fourth one. From Paranjyoti to Meghandar. From Meghandar to Arunandi Sivam. Arunandi Sivam to Maranyana Sambandar. From Maranyana Sambandar to Umapati Sivam. And there were a lot of branches coming out. And we had, and we are still, we are very proud of it. Tiruvavadudari Adinam, Dharmi Adinam, we are very much proud. Rooted from Dakshinamurthy, Lord Dakshinamurthy. Whenever we go to Mat and have darshan of our Guru Peetam, we must think that Dakshinamurthy is sitting over there in front of us. We must have that complete 100% faith and approach. Then we will be benefited. So likewise, Dakshinamurthy, he was looking at four student saints. He was looking at them. They were looking at him. And by the lack of sights, the information started flowing from Lord Shiva to the four of them. All the four received information, and whatever he wished, they came to know. And he was giving lot of informations, and the most important information he gave, we will discuss in our next session, to be held on 17th Saturday at 4 p.m. We will meet and continue the discussion with respect to Dakshinamurthy. With this, I am just concluding this session. To conclude the session, let me chant the 5-letter mantra 5 times. I request you to kindly follow me. Tiruchitrambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். I want to thank our Saravanan couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan in Qatar. They were very keen on having this serial in English to spread the knowledge of our holy deities in Saivam, so that the real facts of our deities should be known by our people. They have taken this initiative. I am just appreciating, and I beg before my Lord to bless them with all the virtues. Thank you. We will meet next week again, and we will continue our discussion about Lord Dakshinamurthy in the future sessions. Tiruchitrambalam.